It is time. Let's talk about the Unity class designs. Ankama, if you're watching, take notes. What's up guys, Aslex Gaming, and we are back. We are back with a very serious video, and in this video I want to talk with you guys. And I say with and not to, because I want to talk with you about the Unity class designs for Dofus 3.0. And just as a disclaimer, I want to say at the beginning of this video that this is not a negative video. However, this video I will discuss a lot of negative points. Keep in mind though, this video is purely talking about class designs for Unity. And therefore I do want to mention that Unity, aka Dofus 3.0, has overall more positive things than negative things. However, in this video we are going to mainly talk about class designs, which is by far the biggest negative point of the game and might weigh more than all of the positive things that Unity can bring. Also, I want to ask you guys after watching this video to comment below and give me your thoughts on the Unity class designs. It can be negative, it can be positive, just try to use formal language, because my plan is to gather as many of you guys' feedback in about the next 7 days. At the end of next week, I will send this video to Ankama and show them the feedback of our community regarding the Unity class designs. Because so far, even only after 3 days, I only have seen people talking about this quite negatively. So we're gonna go through all this together and share this with Ankama, because we are not happy. The French community is not happy, the English community is not happy, the Spanish community and all of the other communities, we are not happy. We want this to change. So let's go over this. And I will give you my opinion first, and then we go into the comments section below, and we'll have a friendly discussion about the Unity class designs. Alright, so that's out of the way. Let's start out with the class creation interface. First of all, I do want to mention that we did not get all of the customizations that Ankama shared during the Ankama lives when it comes to creating a character. Yes, we did get one extra option for your characters when it comes to the colors, but other than that, that's it. We did not get more hats, we did not get more face changes, we were not able to separate our hair from our face, we were not able to choose our bodies or anything like that. To give you an example, in the Ankama Live, they showed us that we could pick a female SRAM with a skeleton body. We can't do that. So my assumption is just that we will get this feature later in the game, and is currently not available. Taking that into account, we'll go over the classes, and I will give you guys my honest opinion. And my honest opinion in general is that it's quite negative. So let's quickly go over all the classes one by one, talking about what I don't like about each class. Then we do some comparisons between 1.29 and 2.0, because a lot of you guys did mention that when Dofus went to 2.0, everyone was negative about classes as well. And here we are. The same thing happens. Is it us? Is it not us? I don't know. Let's see. Let's go to the IOP. I think IOP is quite okay. There are some general issues, but we'll talk about that at the end. Generally, I think IOP still has its own features when it comes to the hair, the eyes. Like I said, we don't have all of the customizations yet, but generally, I think IOP isn't the worst character in the game that you can pick. We'll go straight up to the second character, which is by far, in my opinion, the worst looking class in the game. And the second one is probably the Feka, but we'll get to that later. For some reason, I can't put my finger on it. It might be the face. It is probably the face. But I just don't like the general look of the Kra. First of all, the face just looks too basic. There is no emotions whatsoever. It's just simple face. And then the body is like, it is a general thing with all of the characters that they have pretty much the same type of body figure. There's no distinguish between characters. They all look the same when it comes to their body. Their figure, the outlining, it's all the same. and for some reason, I just don't like how the crawl looks. When you compare the 3.0 character to the 2.0 character, you see that they don't even look the same. Like, it is hard to pinpoint what exactly it is that doesn't speak to me, but it's like, it's also like there's like less details. I feel like this craw has way more details in the skirt area, like the belt and all that kind of stuff. It feels like more details. The gloves as well, it looks so simple. I think the main issue is probably the shoes. This is what I have. This is my issue with most of the classes. Why are the feet so small? It doesn't look in proportion. Like, the feet are way too small. Look at the feet on this in proportion with the rest of the body. The feet are almost just as big as the head. And for some reason, this is much better than this. This doesn't look in proportion. Look at the hips to feet ratio. It's just no. And it is the face that is probably the worst. Like, even if you pick the... So this is the basic version. And when you go to 2.0, this is the basic version, right? What the hell is this? The eyes? Something is just so odd. I think it's the eyes. Maybe this... The face, like the whole symmetry of the face. The shape of the face. All the classes have legit the same shape face. When you go to the other version, like, all classes have like a different shape. The eye up, a little bit more round. Cross a little bit more round. Sakri has no nose. They all have different like characteristics that makes the class the class. When you see a class like a Kra or a Feka, you know this is a Kra. You know this is a Feka. They look different. Here, they look the same. Like, if I swap between this, look at the eyes. The eyes are the same. The entire face shape, it's the same. When I switch to this, look at this. When you see everything changed except for the face is the same for all of the classes. The Enutrof is different, but that makes sense because it's an older character. The furries as well, I would say they are pretty similar, but at least you can see this is an Eka, this is a Panda, right? But all the other classes, the faces are legit the same. It's all the same. And the feet are too small. They need to fix the feet. Alright. Let's talk about some positives as well. I like the new design of, for example, the Aniripsa. Now let's look at the Aniripsa here. Aniripsa are quite simple. Top, skirts, sleeves. Here, at least, there's a little bit more going around. Like, I don't like the feet. The feet are still way too small compared to the other body parts. They get rid of the cloak of the Shrem. So here you can see female Shrem has a little cloak on the 2.0 version. They removed that on the 3.0 version. I don't like that because it's like you just can see from the front it is missing something. This does not look like a Shrem. I do like Sakria. I don't know why. I think the Sakria players might not agree with me, but it is still not as good as the 2.0 version. Look at the hair. So the hair on this Sakria has a lot more pointy parts, and this is like, it's like they went backwards with how they want to design classes. It looks, the tattoos look like here, they look more like, how do you say it? Like, it is, sometimes it's hard to say what you feel, but it's like, the quality went down. Like, it went down. This is like, they were talking about shadows and all that kind of stuff, and I get that, right? So there are some things about the 2.0 characters that might not be logical, but then when you go from 2.0 to this, I feel like there is less detail on the 3.0 characters compared to the 2.0 characters. That's just... Also the eyes, where's the... Why can I not... Alright, so this is the... Okay, yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's less detail. I do like the Annie, but let's not compare it to the 2.0 stuff. And Enutrof, a lot of people complain about the height difference between the characters, and I agree. In the Unity version, all characters have the exact same height. However, this is not one of the things that I struggle with too much. I don't mind all of the characters having the same height. So pretty much it affects the Xelor and the Enutroph the most because they increased in height. And I think for classes like Foggernaut and Masquerader were quite tall classes. They have been toned down a little bit. I don't mind them changing the height. And I also kind of like how the new Enutrophs look. It's different, but I still feel like there could be more details in everything, like the hair, the body. There could be way more details. The Osamodas, this is one of the classes that I like the most. I think Osamodas is probably the closest to the 2.0 version as it can be. I think Osamodas is quite well. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Uginak is good. I don't mind. Forge Lens, in my opinion, this doesn't look too bad. It looks good. Shram, I don't like it. There's way too little details in there. It's just missing so much stuff. I know the 2.0 version is simple as well, but I don't know. I don't like this. Ecaflip, I feel like they used Ecaflip way too much in all of the examples in the Ankama lives that we expect more of this. Because it's at this point, it's just pretty simple. Let's go look at the 2.0 version. So when you compare the 2.0 version to the actual version, it is probably the way the characters, the entire shape of the character, from the hips and the legs. The hips and the legs, that's what's the main problem. The heads are too big. If you just draw a line across the upper body, like if I would, can I do something later? Like, let's drag this. Let's say we do this, right? I think the upper bodies, they are not too bad when you look from the belly up. But if you then, let me look at this. If the lower bodies are the problems, the hips, the legs, the feet especially, it just doesn't look good. Let's look at the Foggernaut. The Foggernaut has by far the best spell animation in the game. I never liked the Foggernaut class for the sake of you couldn't customize a lot of the parts on the body. I just didn't like the leg. I didn't like the 2.0 version of Foggernaut, to be honest. I always played the female one because that looked better than the male one. I think it is better, but it requires more detail in the character. I feel like still the 2.0 version has more detail. This is quite simple. But I feel like this ratio is better. The feet seem to be big. I don't know, maybe it just looks like it because it has shoes on. But this, and the Fekka is just like, nah, I can't handle this. Fekka and Kra are part of my main 4-man team, and I feel like they butchered it. Like, here you can see some slight details in the hair, using some light and dark brown, and some stripes across the hair ties. And here, it's just gone. Everything is gone. There's legit the entire hairstyle's one color. There's no details in the hair whatsoever. And the face is the same as every other class. The legs, they just, no, we need to get the feet bigger. Like, the first thing they need to do is make the hips in proportion with the rest of the body and increase the feet size. I think that's the main thing. Upper Mage is actually one of the few classes that I like too. It's not too bad actually. But the details, it looks like they haven't sharpened the classes. That's what I have with every class, by the way. Masquerader doesn't look too bad. It has a mask, so I can't really say much about the face structure. Panda. Let's look at the Panda. I will talk more, of course, about the classes that I actually play when they are part of my main team. So someone mentioned they removed the ears of the Panda. Let's look at the male Panda. I don't think they are supposed to be ears. It's more like dots of hair at the top of the head. You know, when you look at it separately, when you don't compare 2.0 to 3.0, when you don't compare them at all, the characters don't look too bad. But when you compare them, it's like, I feel like they lose detail so much, man. So much. I think the panda is, by the way, not even the worst looking one. Heliotrope, I like. I like the heliotrope. It needs some little bit more detail, slightly bigger feet. But the way it's designed, with, as you can see here, and I think when I switch to female, no, I think it's the difference between the hair and the eye and the skin color. But it has the same shape, and yet this feels better. I don't know why. But let's look at the 2.0 version. Female. I feel like there's less detail in the clothing as well. So normally when you hover your mouse over one of these squares, they highlight, so you know which body part you are changing. It's not here. You can't change it, so it's really annoying a little bit. I don't know what this does, but oh, you can add the color. I see. Hair, skin, close one. The thing is, it's more about, I think it's, yeah. So as this part, let's say we make it black. There's less detail on the body, in my opinion, but let's just reset it. Sadie. I think Sadie is closer to the 2.0 version than some other classes. What the hell is this like? Oh, man. I don't know. Let's talk about Xelor last. I'm sorry for you Xelor mains. I know you probably dislike it, but I might be one of the few people that might actually not dislike the Xelor. I like the new hat. I like the new body. Let's return to this one. Let's do male first. Because this version, the male Xelor has no hat. And I came from a time where we started in 1.29. The Xelor had a hat. So, at least I think so, right? I don't know. I like the hat version at least. It's cool. And you have the no hat version as well. Talking about the female one. I always liked the female one because of this hairstyle and the hat. However, I think... Nah, they butchered it. The female one is ugly. What did they do to the hat? The hat on the 2.0 version looks so much better than Unity. It's like they just... I can't even explain. It's like... There's no detail in this hat at all. Even the body. This is like... They put a triangle on the front here. And here is like... You can clearly see there's some detail, some shading in the 2.0 version. And here's gone... Even look at the... So Xelor is a mummy, right? So it has the mummy arms, mummy legs. You can't even see that in the Unity version. You can't see any details in the legs, in the arms. Not even on the male one. You can't see that this is a mummy. I don't know, guys. I do like that you can now choose between damage dealers, healers, summoners, positioners, tanks, all that kind of stuff. But it makes... Nah. Yeah. I don't know. I think let's do a quick summary. Let's talk about 3 major points that I don't like about the Unity aka 3.0 classes. And let's talk about 1, the details. Unity should be, number 1, it should be an improvement of the 2.0 visuals, graphics, everything, right? And I can clearly see in broad daylight that the 2.0 characters have 10 times more detail in their entire body and face and hair compared to the 3.0 Unity classes. There is no detail in this whatsoever. It looks like there's a filter on top of it where it's just like smoothened out and it's like removed all detail. There's no shading. There's no details in the hair. With the Xilo, there's no details in the arm and legs that makes it look like a mummy. There's like, it should be sharp and, you know, people who know the feeling that I have, they will know exactly what I'm talking about. There's no detail in the IOP hair whatsoever. The Sacrier hair is just orange blur. There's no detail. I can literally draw a Sacrier in an hour and it will have more details than this. You need more details. Alright? Then, number 2, it's the hips, legs, and feet. It is out of proportion by a country mile. It just looks so bad. They need to increase the size of feet. When you look at all of the 2.0 classes and you go through them one by one, you can clearly see a big detail is the feet. The feet are bigger. They are pretty much the same size as the head, with the exception of some classes maybe. But you can clearly see when you look at the Kra and the Feka, they have boots, they have shoes, and they are big. They are about half the size of the entire legs. And that makes the Dofus classes give, like that, it's the characteristic of the Dofus classes. The big feet. And then the hips, just make it normal. We don't need 10 feet wide hips. Look at this. This is all, look at the Shrimp, for example, right? You can see it has hips, it has a small waist, but it doesn't look out of proportion. But when you pull up the Shrimp from this, like what the heck is this? What is this? This doesn't look good at all. So it's the hips and the feet. And then number 3, it is the faces. So just to come back to the faces, I've played about 3 days in a group where pretty much like starting from scratch, everyone's using Pee-wee set, right? I can't see the difference between classes from their face. They all look the same. If we had Cross, Sacrius, let's see what classes we had in the group. Cross, Sacrier, Feka, legit all classes that are human looking, they look the same. I could not see the difference between Cross, Sacrius, Feka, IOP. I could not see the difference. The only way I could see the difference is when people were playing an Akaflip because it was furry. I don't see any difference. So those are my 3 major critical points about classes. It is the details in the way characters look. There's no details, no shading, nothing. And then number 2 is the hips and the feet. They are out of proportion. And number 3 is the faces. They all look the same. And just to make it clear with all of this, what I mean is that the entire feel that I get from this is that it looks a lot like a mobile game where there's no detail in the game. There's no feeling. You don't feel the characters like you used to. It just looks plain and simple. It feels like a mobile game. And on top of that, you have the character stance where they are in the fight when they're like this and they go up and down. Breathing, they call it. They do this. It makes it even more feel like it's fake. It looks like a mobile fighter game like in the 1990s or something. I don't know. It looks so plain and simple that it lost all the feeling that I personally have in the characters. Now, just to mention this, that it is not all negative. The entire game looks super good. It runs smooth. The way you switch maps, the interfaces, there's still some work, some bugs, but everything it's a good improvement from 2.0 to 3.0. However, the classes, you lose me there. And I honestly think if they don't change it at least a little bit, let's say they changed the hips a little bit, increase the feet size, like the shoes and that kind of stuff. Maybe like make some small changes in the faces of each character to make it more character specific. I think that's about it. That's about it. More we probably don't even need. But yeah, like I said in the beginning of this video, I want you guys to go to the comment section below and give your honest feedback. Be as honest as you can be, even if it's negative. Just try to use fair language. Like, don't flame, don't shout. Just be honest in a good manner. And hopefully we can gather a lot of feedback from the community, even outside of our community. If you're from France, Belgium, Brazil, if you're from the other side of the world, I don't mind. Just go to the comment section below, reply, what is your thought? And in about a week or so, I will send this video to Ankama as a feedback, and we'll see what they do with it. And hopefully, maybe it's not even before the December update when they change anything about this, because I know they are busy. I know they have a lot of work to do with bugs and all that kind of stuff, polishing the game. I think they even mentioned that they're still working on some maps in, for example, Freeghost. I know they are very busy, and I don't expect them to change this before the actual release in December. If they do, props to Ankama. But at least once Unity gets released, start working on... I don't even need new content. Just start working on the character designs, make it look better. It is 3 simple things: the details, the hips, the legs, and the face. Well, that's 4 things, but I put the hips and the legs together as one thing. So 3 simple things that needs changing, and that's it. Very simple. So let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are, and we will have a friendly discussion, and then in a week's time, I'll send this to Ankama. And Ankama, if you, by that time, if you're in the upcoming days, if you're watching this, please take our feedback. I have not seen anyone talk positive about the character design. And I know you might think, oh, they just have to get used to it. It's the same when it went from 1.29 to 2.0. I don't think this is the same. I think when you look back, and I can pull up a screenshot real quick before we end this video. When you pull up a picture from 1.29 to 2.0, you can clearly see it is an improvement. The 1.29 characters, they don't even have faces. They literally have stripes as eyes. It is an improvement. With this, you could safely say it is something you had to get used to. And we did. We did. We are still playing this game, even after all this time. But I just think that with the 3.0 changes, the characters have lost what made them them. So that's just my thought. And let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Enjoy playing Unity, and see you guys next time. Bye.